Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Star Knight Research. Joining me here is recurring guest Blue Knight Beyond. Just let me add you onto the scene here. There we go. And you got a new thumbnail for your channel.
Yeah. This is just something I made. This is a new thumbnail. It's just like, yeah, let's go with this one. I know I like to change things up a bit.
Still, it's nice to always see the good old Batman as your symbol.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like my character design I made for this avatar. This is my I guess OC when I'm doing YouTube. Like, yeah, this should be what you think of me when I'm talking.
No, I got you. But speaking of Batman, as well as with your name, we're gonna be talking about the famous Batman Beyond movie, Return of the Joker.
Oh heck yeah, man! Let's do this. I'm so excited just to talk about one of my all-time favorite Batman animated movies, or any Batman movie really, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's just crazy how for this year it marks a lot of anniversaries. Like for this one, 25th, 20 for Batman Begins, 30th for Batman Forever, and 10 for Arkham Knight.
20 for the Batman versus Dracula. Like that just turned 20 like a few days ago actually.
Yeah, that's right. They did come out around Halloween, and I'll say that one was definitely a good one. A bit interesting choice, a bit weird, although that kind of makes it think of A9 Batman just because of bringing in Vicky Vale.
Yeah. I don't know, Fiki fail. Okay character, not my favorite one, but she's not bad or good or in my opinion. I think she's just like all right, like I'm all right with this.
Yeah, to me, it's just basically Gotham's Lois Lane.
Basically. Although I know in the 89, I think what she's trying to be like a photographer or something.
Yeah, she was a photojournalist.
Yeah, photojournalist. So at least that's something. Like, good job, guys.
It's always something where they try to pit the hero with a reporter as a love interest.
Yeah, they did that with like Marvel Spider-Man with like Mary Jane, which I'm like, really? We can't just do like a actress? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, I guess they want to try to make more of her character than just being the damsel in distress. So I guess it depends on which character. But still, though, I say yeah. For with Return of the Joker, yeah, to me that's one of the best Batman movies. Like probably the best of the DC anime universe of movies.
I think so too, and I say that because I think it has the best animation use. I think the soundtrack is better than the other movies, and I think the story is really good and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll say for Christopher Carter because each of those composers, for as far as for the dynamic music partners, they each have a certain style or rhythm. Because I would say for Christopher Carter, he is probably the best with the heavy metal Batman Beyond kind of music since he created the official theme for it.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, do you have like the Batman Beyond? Like they've been recently dropping like the actual Beyond soundtrack into like those music playlists and all that stuff, like music platforms.
Oh yeah, I've been taking a look into that, especially for Beyond, and I was hoping they bring in more of like the dance music that usually hear in the clubs, but oh well.
Yeah, I know not every like because Return of Joker has its soundtrack, like some of it's released, but I know not every music choice was like on there. Like the satellite chase scene, like I was trying to find that music. I was like, oh, it's not in this playlist. That sucks.
I know that's one of my favorite moments, and I love the fact that for the animation team that did the Akira wanted to basically step it up for that movie.
Yeah, I'm so glad they went with that animation studio because like I really think they did like a phenomenal job animated Batman and that movie and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's quite something since this was the turning point when the animation slightly changed halfway through the series.
Oh yeah, they went from like digital instead of physical like animation, like the cell shaded style, all that stuff.
Yeah, because during the show, I'll admit I wasn't crazy about some of the changes at first, but I kind of gotten used to it. Although I think for Return of the Joker, it definitely looks better.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if they like maybe mix the combine the two like old animation stars, so like modern or like late animation, because I know for like Mystery of the Batwoman they use like digital characters, like they were digital animated, but the backgrounds was like physical, like back painted and all that stuff. So I'm not sure if like Return Joker is like it looks like background like hand drawn background, but I don't know.
Yeah, I say it was definitely still hand drawn. And hello, Angel of Death.
Hello.
But yeah,
Um,
just something about the music was for Christopher Carr. Besides the heavy metal, he's also does a really good job with making like horror, like I guess for the music for the horror genre as well. Because with some of the scenes, like when Terry is finding Bruce's body in the Batcave after Joker smashed it, and then with everything that happened in the flashback episode, it just how he did the music was just like very creepy.
oh yeah, I'm more of the kind of like action kind of guy, like listening music, like hearing like just like stuff to get my blood pumping, all that stuff. So one of the things like I remember is the the first very scene where it's just like Terry takes out like the Jokers and all that stuff. Like,
Yes, same. I love that first soundtrack, and I like that it combines more orchestra with the heavy metal stuff.
and then yeah, and then another scene I thought about was the it's like right after Tim shoots Joker and all that stuff. You just like it kind of goes for more of a I don't know how to describe it, but sort of kind of like sad music, a little peaceful, like oh my gosh, like the Joker is dead, right? And then like you just see Tim break down, like the music just like plays in the background. That's also one of my favorite moments for in the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's just crazy for that scene. It's pretty much Paul Dini and Bruce Timm's take on Pagliacci.
Yeah, uh, I'm gonna say this. I think Christopher Carter and like the rest of the guys, I think they're one of my favorite like soundtrack composers and all that stuff.
Agreed.
Um, I just listened to like I just found out they did Spectacular Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, I really like the soundtrack for this one, and like a bunch of other stuff they did. So
Y-
I really like them.
yep, they done that as well as they done Avengers Assemble.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know about that.
I mean, I would say for that, maybe not quite exactly their best work after Justice. After I say between Batman Beyond and Justice League, but still, they know how to make it really epic. Let's see. Angel Death responded. The backgrounds are hand painted. They got Ted Blackman, who did the BTS backgrounds back for the movie, who hadn't returned since BTS ended, but with implemented digital effects.
I
Okay.
assume so and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I I really like like when they transition to like the digital stuff from like Batman Beyond, because I remember they were like from the first season it was like hand painted like hand style, and then like they went digital in like midway through the second season. I do like the digital stuff because I think they're able to animate more action sequences a bit better and all that stuff, and do more cool effects.
Yeah, because I always remember that one scene when they started that transition where Kiari returns again, and just seeing how fast and fluid Kiari's evading all those little mini red batarangs as Terry's shooting them in the
Oh,
museum.
I forgot about that little animation. It's like it's sort of like first person, and you see her move that way. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. No, that was great. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. That was something, and yeah, I'm thinking Angel Death. This is why I feel like this is the best of the DCAU because it really connects everything, and of course, how it answers some questions fans probably had since the show started. What happened with the Joker? Because he's one of the biggest bads, especially at that point when Terry already got to meet one or two of the former villains in one way or
Yeah,
another.
Yeah, Freeze, and then what's like another original? I guess Bane, but he
Yeah,
was kind of that was like, oh my gosh, what happened to you, man? Oh man.
yeah, that was pretty much. And let's see. Yep, you're right, Angel. To this day, that let's see, there is no doubt in my mind that this film is Mark Hamill's best and most terrifying performance as a Joker. Yeah,
Ooh.
I would say yeah that it's pretty up there. I would say between that and I would say even Phantasm 2, just because the the some of the laughs he did in Phantasm, they're pretty unique. They're pretty unique, even with later on. And I would say I do like what they did with how Mark Hamill did Joker in between the Arkham City and Arkham Knight.
I mean, if you want my opinion, I think Mark Hamill does a great job with Joker with every time he plays the character. Like, I don't think I have a favorite moment. I think all of the every time he voices it, it's always been my favorite. Like Mask of the Phantasm, like my my favorite line from him is just like, "Don't touch me, old man. I don't know where you've been." So he goes from like really threatening to like just casual, like in a second. And I really like that. With
Oh
Mark Hamill.
yeah, just seeing like the everything going red for a moment and then he just calms down.
Yeah, I think in this movie he kind of plays um like he doesn't really give a crap about like the new Batman because he's like so confident. He's just like, yeah, you faker, like you're not gonna beat me. I all that stuff. So like he doesn't sound threatening. He just sounds like super overconfident. I would say, just like from memory.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I guess so. Because it's, I feel like with his return, it just showcases that sometimes with some of the classics, they don't exactly go out of style, and that really just shows like in the first scene we have with the Joker. Because as Angela point out, that there is a couple of gangs modeled after the Jokers, but they're just kids. Like the only one who is probably actually psychotic would be Terminal, but even that was just very small scale with just trying to kill Max. But for the rest of Jokers, they're just basically pulling pranks, doing small stuff. But with this gang, and I like the fact it's a very unique take on the gang, them actually working for the actual Joker, it's like, oh god, they're literally scared.
yeah, I like how one of the Jokers are like is voiced by Bruce Timm, and just like the Beta or like the Batman Beyond writers was like, yeah, let's just keep using him so Bruce Timm gets to like keep voicing this guy.
Yeah, it
But
is funny how he does a pretty good impression, if I do say so myself.
what are you talking to, old man? We're the Jokers. I'm just like, I love you, Bruce Timm.
Yep. Let's see. I think he's amazing in Masks of Phantasm. I put this above as far as performance, though, because he has a lot more focus here, and I prefer his lower register voice compared to the more high pitched voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's definitely lower. Like he's, um, I guess not super energetic. Like there are moments where he is energetic, but like for the most of the time, he's like pretty calm for the most part. Like like I said earlier, he's confident in his plan, his ability, and he's not really worried about Terry and all that stuff. He only gets like really angry with him near the end of the movie where like Terry kind of does psychoanalyze it or just like mean crap talk to him, trash talks.
yeah, because I guess given the nature of how Joker, I guess, made his return, I guess I could see why he'd be overconfident. Because it's it kind of makes me think of like what Joker did in the Batman when he took Bane's Venom formula, because he always felt like that while both characters are pretty much even with outsmarting each other, but Batman always had the more physical capabilities as far as for strength. And I would say in Tim's body, Joker definitely has a little bit more strength.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is Tim really like that well built? It's kind of like okay built, I think.
I mean, look what happened with the clock entrance. He basically ripped it out.
Okay, yeah, you got a point. You got a point. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I mean, even Tim said that old train never goes away, even at his age. Which I mean, it's not that old. I mean, I would say because I would say for Tim, what happened there, he was probably like maybe like 15, 16. So yeah, he'd be in his mid 50s by the time of Beyond.
Yeah, that's not confusing at all with the timeline and all that stuff. I'm 20 years, whenever noun is. Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's kind of weird just like guessing like the character's age because like Bruce is like really old and it's like it's so weird to me to see Barbo like really old too. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you should be a little bit younger. I don't know. You look like a grandma.
Mm. Yeah, although yeah, because I guess when you think about the ages, it kind of makes sense because I guess through I guess between from BTAS to Justice League Unlimited, Bruce would probably be like around his
40s like Justice League like
by Justice League. I'd say probably either mid early 40s or just like late 30s, somewhere in that ballpark.
yeah. I was kind of assuming he's like around his 40s or something in Justice League. That
Probably
that,
because I
that
was
would be my guess.
yeah because I would say for within Beyond, he's definitely around his like late 70s.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like the first episode, the first pilot, right? Like I think he's around maybe 55 or in his 50s when he's wearing the Beyond suit and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I don't really consider Bruce like super old and like Beyond just because he's still able to like kick butt and all that stuff. It's just more like his body can't take it, like or his heart. Not saying sorry, not his body, but his heart can't take it is what I mean.
Same thing. And yeah, Angel, you have a point. Yeah, it's funny how sometimes with animators they don't want to really showcase the age difference unless it's like a really bigger. Since yeah, they do. Yeah, because Tim was still drawn like as usual in TNBA. Even though I'd say for Matthew Valencia, he definitely sounds older, older compared to when he first started in TNBA. But it's always the case. They if they're gonna make any animation changes, it would be if it's like a 10-year skip or something, or like if Tim got to be like Dick's age around BTAS being Robin or something.
Yeah, something like that. But going back to yeah, I really like the third Joker design for this movie. Oh my gosh, it's probably my favorite design for Joker in all of media. Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely up. It's definitely up there, and I think that's why I want to go back to it. The first scene with him and the Jokers is that in the shadows they utilize the second design, which works best in the shadows, where you can see the outlines of the black eyes, but with the red eye in the center, that just gives it a lot more creepiness to it.
yeah, and then they added like the red lips, and then I do like the colors on like the suit a little bit more than like the previous like designs for Joker. Like very dark, not dark green, but like kind of limeish green, and then like this purple. I really like to see and all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's I don't know. It's really one of my favorite designs. I don't want to trash like TNBA's like Joker design. I really don't have a problem with that, if I'm being honest. I know a lot of people don't like that design, but I never really had a problem with it.
yeah. I guess I never really hate it because I guess it's because I feel like it'd be worse if it wasn't Mark Hamill. Like because despite how it may look to me, TNBA it's still part of the '90s animated series. Just I guess you could say a sequel, since while it has an animation change, it still has the same voice cast, writers, and yep, that's right. I was his future design is apparently modeled after Hannibal Lecter, which is a good change of pace because I'm glad they just didn't go with pretty much try to make a future version of his traditional look or something. Just something very
Purple
simple.
bodysuit or something, and then like the hair design.
Yeah, just something very simple. And I would say a nice callback to Phantasm where you were thinking at first that maybe it could be that Jordan Price character because he is also voiced by Mark Hamill. His physical appearance is more or less the same, just the chin not as pointy.
Yeah, I think Mark Hamill is like the reason why I don't hate the Joker design all that much because it's like, well, it's still Mark Hamill and he's still like the same character, like how he speaks and all that stuff, or the way he is doing things. Like I'm still, it's still the same character, so that's probably why I didn't really hate the second design as much. I don't love it, but I don't hate it like with the rest of the people. But the third design is like one of my favorite ones. I'm glad that's like sort of like ever since from that design, like they just kept using it, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I agree because it's just with the red eyes, it just works.
Yeah, I think my only problem is like Batman's design because like he's still wearing his Team BA look, and I had, you know, I've talked to you about this before, but I don't know, it's just I have that love hate relationship with Batman's look from Team BA. I just do. Like sometimes it works, and then sometimes it doesn't.
I suppose. I mean, and yeah, Angel, you're correct because like the moments like with Joke, how angry Joker looked in that Millions episode and the TV, yeah, that worked in the in the shadows. And plus, I never seen some concept art where we would have that look, but having the red lips, which I think if they brought in the red lips in TMBA, there'd probably be some less complaints. It's kind of guess like with the Justice League Superman design, where how like they want to make him look older, but then season two they remove those cheekbone lines.
Yeah, so as Wonder Woman, all that
Y-
stuff. Oh my gosh, major improvement. She looked
Yeah,
really old.
that's true.
uh,
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I feel like for TMBA Batman, I kind I that's why for me it's hard to say which of the I guess original Batman suits I like the most, just because there's something I like about each of them.
yeah, I mean, okay, what should I give props about TNBA? Well, I think it was the first animated Batman like appearance where they just used black. Like I think the technology was good enough where like they just used gray highlights instead of blue. So it's like the first fully black costume for Batman.
Yeah,
And then they got rid of like the yellow oval. Like it's just a black bat symbol now.
yeah, that's why I guess I kind of like, especially with what I know now, is that it's basically I guess a more slightly updated look of the year one Batsuit.
Yeah, it does look like the year one bat suit. It's just my problem with that design in particular is that like he just looks really big. Like he skipped a leg day and just went like bodybuilder. I mean, it kind of works with the story they're telling right now, just because it's like he's a little bit less compassionate. I wouldn't say he's not compassionate, but there's not a lot of compassionate. A lot of people complain online about TNBA Batman not being compassionate enough. And my defense was just like, look, man, like Joker was going to do 9/11, okay? Like he had to interrogate that guy. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Corn Angel Death. Yeah, I think TNBA Batman looks great. It's just the proportions don't quite feel as defined. It's why I feel he looks better in this film and Mystery of the Batwoman. Well, I would say pretty much by the time when they did that animation change with Superman and everything, that because it's even worse for Superman with how big he is. But yeah, even with Superman, his legs look relatively skinny. And even though I know you like the Justice League suit the best, that's even a worse example for proportions because both characters in Justice League they look even bigger than compared to TNBA and Superman's show.
He doesn't look I don't know, it's just he doesn't look bigger to me in GLA. Like I feel like his body size a little bit is not as big as like in TNBA. I feel like TNBA is much more bigger. Well, GLU is like a little bit slimmer design. It could just be like maybe he's just tall. Maybe that's why he looks a bit big.
Maybe not for Batman, but for Superman, Superman definitely looks bigger in Justice League compared to Estas.
I don't know. It could be because it has the blue highlights, and I'm like, okay, look, I'm a sucker for blue. That's probably why I don't like hate it and why I love it as much.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, because in B tests, it's much more proportional. But yeah, I feel like in Justice League, both characters like their shoulders are like a lot wider, more so for Superman. Like, so I feel like Superman got a little bit, maybe not as bigger, but maybe a little bit more wi- wider bodybuilder look.
I will say this: I do like Terry's like how they designed Terry or Team BS. Is it TMBS that animated Return of the Joker? Like the ones who did Akira.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah, that was. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to say that was definitely the animation styles. And yep, that's right. Angel just confirmed. Yeah, Superman looks bigger because shoulders are a bit wider and the symbol is smaller. Okay.
yeah. I like Terry how Terry looks in this film better than like the cartoon. I really thought there was a lot of different animation studios animated Batman Beyond. Like I thought it was like a different one, but no, it's all Coco. Like Coco did the whole series, and I know they did like some animation sequences in Return of the Joker.
Yeah, but I would say there are some episodes Terry looks just as good as Think in the movie. I would say probably I would say Rebirth, Inc. and and I would say probably even the I don't know, maybe half of maybe somewhat half of between seasons 1 and the first half of season 2 before it went to digital, I would say.
Yeah, like the first season, like I feel like his body portions was good, and then like I would say like season three, like he looks a little bit taller, more thinner, like he kind of looks more skinnier and all that stuff. While
Mm.
in like Return of the Joker, he's a little like he's skinny, but not so skinny. I don't know how to like really describe it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with different animation studios. They have somewhat different styles, especially when it comes to anime. It's yeah, it might be just because of the runtime with trying to finish the prod and stuff, and I would say for the initial Batman in BTAS, that's a bigger example with that because when I was looking at the air dates for when that show originally came out, there was an episode every single day for like months. Like
Yeah,
I think all those 65 episodes, that was all pretty much most of them was within 1992.
I don't know how the guys like the DCU crew was able to do this because like even learning like how Beyond was made, it was like really quick. Like no show is able to like being produced that well, and like the story writing, like the I would say the quality is still good, but Batman Beyond was like really rushed because it's like okay, we got to make like a new villains, write new scripts, new soundtrack, and all that stuff, new designs, like everything like was from scratch. You know, there was no.
Yeah, and that was in between Superman the Animated Series and eventually I think between Static Shock with while making Batman Beyond.
I don't know how they were able to like do it. It is damn impressive that they were able to like pump out as much episodes as they can, write like really well scripts. Like they were on top of their A game, man. Like it's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, I got you. And oh god, Angel. Well, I guess we know how you feel. You know, you feel that strongly about Barbara, but yeah, she was definitely better in this movie for because I guess depending on where you see how this movie would be, whether at the very end of the show or somewhere along season 3, she's definitely at this point she definitely has accepted Terry to a point. And yeah, Sam Young, he is boring, but I say they're not going to do anything to make Barbara tragic. But I would say my least favorite episode with Barbara has to be Eyewitness, just because I feel like how she was so antagonistic towards Terry was a bit rough, given the fact that like Tim Drake was basically a little crook running around the streets trying to survive, and yet you're being critical of Terry just because he just did a little breaking it breaking in stuff. And I'm just saying because Terry's not that much different than any of the other kids Bruce took in.
Yeah. I actually quite like Eyewitness. That's one of my favorite episodes.
No, I mean the episode by itself is good. I just like for Barbara,
Mm,
just for how she just for Barbara's part, it was just a bit too harsh in the fact that she was willing to expose everyone just because she fell for Spellbinder's illusions, but that really just shows how dangerous he is, which is why he ranked pretty. I think he ranks somewhere in the middle in my Batman Beyond list.
Yeah, that you should send me the list so I can just like kind of look at it because I really need to make a list of like what's my favorite one. I think Shriek is still my number one villain just because I like the concept of like sounds and all that stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know, just and then of course Tower of Babel, right? No, it's just called Babel, like the episode. That one was really good.
Oh yeah, that was one of the best. Like if it, like that would have been crazy if that was like the end. That was like the end of Batman Beyond.
Or like season two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm. Because like the final episode beyond is just like a kid, eyewitness, and like Cobra snakes. Like that's how you end the series. Okay.
yeah.
That's why I
Uh,
love Return of the Jokers. I'm like, okay, this is like series finale. I don't care.
yeah, that's how I view it as well. And I would say for Barbara, like I get where you're saying Angel Death because yeah, I'm not exactly a fan of that whole Bruce and Barbara relationship. My only defense is that it's basically a trope you would see in cop shows when you have like two partners, you know, especially for a man and woman, they work together for so long and you know they have something. And it doesn't sound like it was much of a relationship exactly, just maybe I guess a bit of a fling.
I it was from what I've heard, it was like a callback to the 1966 show, all that stuff. Like that's what it was. And I sort of see Bruce Timm's like reasoning because it was like it's interesting, like because you know he's older and she's younger and all that stuff.
Yeah, and plus they even did
It,
the reverse with Nightwing and Catwoman.
yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting. Do I like it? Hell no. Let's get that one. Let's get that clear.
Yeah, but it's just like it's something that just happens, and you know it's not, I mean it's only just at least within Batman Beyond and the DCAU that's just talked about.
Yeah, I don't really think about that too much. I think of like other things. I think of the music. I think of like some action set pieces, and I think of like Terry and how well he was written. I really like how he's written in Return of the Joker because it's just like I feel like this movie trying to test Terry like okay, like Terry is Batman Beyond without um like I like how they don't really call it out too much where it's just like oh Terry is the new Batman. I'm like yeah, I know he is Batman. Your point. It's like sort of how Marvel does it, where just like they keep insisting Miles is Spider Man. I'm just like, look, I already get it. Miles is Spider Man. Like you don't need to convince me. Just like tell your story. Don't remind me.
Yeah, I would say I agree because I like the fact that initially for with Terry that this was not just because that he got to be Batman on his own merits. It's at the time is not just because of like you know some lineage or anything, despite what has been revealed by Justice Unlimited. But at least at the time, you know, it's just he broke and stole the as he said himself. He broke and stole the suit. He has similar thing that happened with his dad, like Bruce and his parents, and now he's just trying to do his best to protect Gotham. And yeah, I did like that speech, and I would say this movie, along with Batman Beyond, really showed a good character growth in Bruce. Like, yeah, in some ways he's become a bit more hardened because of his experiences, but I like the fact that even though Bruce was a bit harsh, he does care about Terry, that he doesn't want to put his life on the line against someone like the Joker, whether it was the real thing or some imposter.
Yeah, I don't know. I like how Terry doesn't really state that he's Batman. He more like kind of just proves himself. Like
Well, I mean, he did in Rebirth.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, he did that in Rebirth, but like that's probably the only time he really did that. You know.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see, and
And
uh,
uh, I do like the I like how Joker just like keeps telling him like you faker and all that stuff. Like he's like doesn't really consider him as Batman until like Terry defeats him and all that stuff. And I really like how this film kind of um I don't know. It just I really like how this film is like, okay, Terry is Batman, but not like Batman, but he's his own Batman, and I really like that from the series and from the movie and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I really like Terry as his own character. Like, I love Terry. I think Terry is one of my favorite characters of all time. Sometimes the list will kind of change. Sometimes I'm like, I like Batman, like the original one, but sometimes I like Terry more, which is really frustrating with like reading the tie-in comics because they don't write Terry like in the show.
yeah. It's I don't pay too much attention with some of the comics just because, like, do you mean the actual tie-in show comics or the new recent comics?
The more recent comics. Okay, like literally, this just happened today. Like, because it was revealed a while ago that so Batman Beyond had came back in like Justice League Unlimited, like the comic book. So like he made like appearance and all that stuff. And for a while though, everyone thought it was like Terry because he looked like Terry, didn't look like anyone else. And then just today it was revealed that it's actually Tim Drake, and I'm like, oh come on, are we? Why?
Oh, I mean, I would count. I guess I'll count that as multiverse because I guess in this case, if Tim never got turned into a Joker Junior, then yeah, he probably would become the next Batman or something, maybe. But I do like Terry because here's one thing I realized: he is a better take of combining some of the best and interesting aspects of the previous Robins than what they did in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's not DCAU like their incarnation of Batman Beyond. It's just like another multiverse. But it's like, is it really that hard just to like make it Terry or do like another like Batman Beyond anime movie? Come on, I want that Spider Verse movie of Batman Beyond. Please give it to me. I'm on my knees. I'm begging. I don't know what I need to do.
I know it's like I because just like when I saw like the animation little test footage for a new Bam Beyond movie that would look similar to the Spider Verse movies, I'm like, can we have that or at least some take on a live action thing? Like, hopefully it comes out at some point or another.
Yeah.
And
Did you see that fan animation with Batman Beyond where like Killer Croc and all that stuff? It looked like Spider Verse, but not really.
not sure about with Killer Croc. And let's see. And
I'll send you the video because it looked really good. I was like, oh my gosh, please give me that.
let's see. Tim hasn't been Batman Beyond since I guess 2016. All Beyond comics since then have been Terry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have been very aware. Like I do read Batman Beyond books. Like New Year, like that's all Terry. Like ever since as you said, 2016, like it has been Terry all stuff. But it's like even when it is Terry, I don't feel like it's quite Terry. And like they do stories which is like really predictable. So you have like Scarecrow Beyond, you have like um another Joker Beyond, and then you have like they just doing like really classic story or like really obvious choices, or like they made Tim or not, they made Matt Robin, Terry's little brother Robin. I was like, okay, whatever.
I mean, I get. Yeah. That's not a bad choice, I guess, depending given that it's his brother. But I guess it really depends on the writers because that's why to me it's like with Joker, I love it when Paul Dini writes the story because it's just how he writes it and how Mark Hamill has done it. It's just so engaging. I mean, even when Paul Dini wrote the episode Two of a Kind in the Batman, I love it just because Paul Dini has this way of writing the comedy and with Joker and of course Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Paul Dini just like I love it when he writes Joker. I think for the most part, like most of the episodes from the DCU, it's really just Paul Dini writing Joker. He may not have written the whole episode, but he definitely wrote like the Joker parts and his dialogue and all that stuff. And it's always just fun to hear Paul Dini's writing and then like Mark Hamill's performance. Like those are just like peanut butter and jelly sandwich right there. So good.
Yeah, that's why I feel like for the Batman Harley Quinn movie, no offense to how it was made, but I feel like Paul Dini should have been involved with writing the movie.
Oh, the Batman and Harley Quinn animated movie.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. At least the soundtrack is good. That's
Yep.
about it.
Yeah, though as far as for Terry, the reason why I said that's because looking back on it, like even with his house reveal that he's Bruce's clone slash son, here's one thing I thought of. Because sometimes in certain scenes, he just reminds me of some of the other Robins in the past. Because honestly, it could have been rewritten. I feel like in some ways it'd be more believable if Terry was Dick's son more than Bruce's.
Really?
Well, here's the thing,
Yeah,
because
explain this to me. I'm really curious. I'm not like trying. I'm
yeah,
really. I'm
it's
listening right now.
yeah, it's just because, like Dick, Terry is still outgoing. He wants to have a little bit of life. Because when I think of the episode for Dead Man's Hands Royal Flush Gang, how he's arguing with Bruce, it just reminds me of the flashbacks of old wounds of how Robin doesn't like exactly working for Bruce because, he's trying to have a bit of a life while dating Barbara at the time. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just feel like Terry and Dick would get along very well, just because the fact that like while Terry wants to continue on the mission, he's not as obsessed about it as Bruce is.
Okay.
And
I'm seeing your point.
and kind of like with with Jason, I feel like there's some angst and a little bit anger behind it, like in the season 1 finale when Blight's thing was revealed. Terry was said like good when they realized that Terry was partially responsible for Blight being exposed to that nerve gas, especially for how like he's familiar with the Gotham streets and everything, being part of a gang.
Yeah.
And lastly, I say for more closely to comic book Tim, Terry is a pretty good detective in his own right, or at least he's very observant of some things, which is also a good point in the movie. He's the first to point out that Tim is involved with the Joker's return. Bruce didn't really want to think about that at first because obviously that's a bit personal, and he wouldn't want to think that one of his former allies would turn on him like this. And unfortunately, Terry was partially right.
Yeah. Yeah. Terry's not like Bruce's clone. He's more like his son because of like he's not like an exact copy of Bruce Wayne because
Yeah,
of
true. I know how some other people would see it that's why I just say clone slash son, just because when you look at him at epilogue, he does resemble a lot like Bruce, just with a just with a slightly different hairstyle, with the blue eyes and the chin. But
when I think of Epic Log, I don't think of like oh, because some people have said, oh, it ruins like Terry's character. He's not really like his own character anymore, or I don't think of him as a clone. I think of like I don't think about that. I just think of like Terry's his own man, and he's Bruce's son. I mean, like he may have his DNA, but he's still his own man, and he still had to prove himself to be Batman in the first place. Like a lot of people are just like, oh, like since it's Bruce's like he Terry's is like the clone and all that stuff. It doesn't feel like his own character. And I'm like, no, like all the stuff you've seen in Beyond, like it's still valid to this day. I would say like he still had to prove himself. Just because he's his biological son or has like Bruce's DNA doesn't mean like it was easy for him. He still had to like learn the hard lessons. He still had to like put in the effort. It's like what, okay, I'm related to my dad. What, am I lesser because I'm related to him? No, like I still have to prove myself.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because yeah, I guess for some people, I guess it adds more relevance if it's like I guess because some people would argue that genetics does play a role because, as yeah, Angel, as you said, what Waller stated, that Terry does not quite have Bruce's magnificent brain. So he's not quite as intelligent or smart, but Terry has his own merits and stuff. And I guess it's that whole argument between like with how much genetics does play a role in this.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like I often wonder like why do this? It just
I would
what
say, I would say just to give Bruce sort of a happy ending, because he's really a depressing character, and it's like he's really the last lines of like the Bruce Wayne's like legacy and all that stuff. Like he's pretty much the last line, and Terry sort of just kind of carries like the legacy of both like like his genes and like Batman and all that stuff. Like I like to think of that
Yeah.
as a sort of happy ending for Bruce, not like a traditional happy ending because he's still alone. And I mean, when you look at DCAU Batman, it's a tragic hero's tale. Like he sacrificed everything, but he doesn't really get a happy ending.
Yeah, I mean that's his choice. And yes, Angel, I did saw the comment that yeah, I mean it's hard to say how Terry would fit outside the DCAU, especially with Damien around. So, but you never know. Sometimes they might find some other ways, like maybe outside the DCAU, Terry wouldn't have to exactly be Bruce's son. It could just be someone else's with the amount of characters that there are in the Bat family now.
Yeah, I really just want Terry back. Like maybe another multiverse. Like, is it too much to ask to ask like another multiverse character of Terry, but he's still written like the cartoon that I loved? Like that's what I'm saying on stuff. And to get back to like Terry not being a good detective, I would disagree with that. He's not like the greatest detective, but I would say he's a good detective. I mean, do you
No,
remember?
yeah, I did say he was a good detective. Like he was very observant. Like I guess
Yeah,
like comparing to Bruce, I would say at least to DC Bruce, I would say even footing because I just remember how like he was a bit and I think it was Out of the Past when he had that look when he said that's not very reassuring when Bruce had his first emergence in the Lazarus pit.
I was thinking more of the it's the episode where like gamesters get like abilities. So like that doctor is a death doctor. I can't remember the episode name, but it's the doctor gives like these gamesters like new abilities. One has like chainsaw, another one becomes like a
Oh yeah, the April Moon episode.
yeah April Moon episode. Like Terry had to figure out like what the code name was that for it to deactivate like the devices and all that stuff. Like he figured that on his own. Like Bruce kind of gave him like a sort of hint, but Terry had to figure that alone. And I'm like, yeah, like, come on, guys. Like, what about this episode? Like, he had to figure that on his own. No one gave him the answer. Like, he had to figure out what the name, and he just said April Moon, and bam, that was the code for disabling the, you know.
Yeah, Terry is pretty observant. Like he knows he really got to know about the doctor and everything that involved with the girl. So yeah, he was able to put two and two together.
I
And
mean, yeah.
I do like that line when Terry says, "That's all you have to give me," and Bruce says, "Like I'm only human."
Oh, right. I keep forgetting.
That's one thing I like about what they've done with Bruce's character in Beyond is that while it is unfortunately tragic that he lives alone, still with Terry, I think even how Serum Lake pointed out that this was a chance for Bruce to have a little bit of happiness as they the writers managed to give Bruce like some witty one-liners with Terry when it's somewhat less serious moments.
Yeah, like he doesn't care, and he just kind of like it's sort of dark humor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Bruce, you freaking savage, man.
Not to mention the egg baby episode.
I had to take family studies again. Have you ever taken family studies?
Or it's
Oh,
like, unless they made an omelet out of him.
yeah. You brought a baby with you? Terry, is there something you need to tell me? He's like, how do I explain this? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It
Uh,
Yeah, and I do agree with the Angel. Yeah, I would say for Terry, like as level detectives, may not quite as the rest of Robins, but eh, he's getting there. But I feel like
I
I
don't know
think
about that. Just, I mean, if you're comparing like comic books, yeah, and then yeah, like Terry has no, like he's pretty a bad detective compared to the other Robins. But if we're talking about like DCU, I'm just like, I can't remember any significant moments for the Robins in the DCU where they're like, oh, their detective skills were really good. I'm like, I can't think of anything on the
yeah,
top of my head.
yeah, because like Terry had felt very suspicious about Talia and Tim in this perspective stories, and and it works better in his favor that he doesn't have his emotional attachment compared to Bruce.
That, or maybe he just didn't want to wear the Robin suit again. That's the only reason. I'm not putting on that stupid Robin suit, man. Freak
Well,
this. I'm
he could.
quitting.
I mean, he could put on Dick's Robin suit, or maybe the Nightwing suit. He wore the mask in Lost Soul.
No, you must become Robin. Batman needs a Robin. Freak this. I'm quitting. But yeah, you meant the comic book versions. I assumed you were. Like, I don't agree with. I agree with you with the comic book versions. I just think even comparing like DCU Robin, like the cartoon, I'm like, I don't really see a lot of detective stuff. Like Tim isn't really written like his comic book counterpart. Kind of is written more
Yeah,
like
it was that yeah for that Tim. It was basically like 80% Tim, no 80% Jason, 20% Tim Drake from the comics.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just yeah, basically. But yeah, I think Terry's a good detective, not the greatest. Like he definitely has like some moments where it's like, oh, pretty smart, Terry. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, and I would say I love the fact that in the movie he utilized the training he got and managed to do the one thing that Bruce has never done, at least in the DC version much. Actually laugh at Joker. Not just a chuckle in the
Joker's
Joker's
favor.
favor, or even just laughing with Joker in the Killing Joke. I mean, like actually making fun of him, because I always think back in the episode when Terry was training against those robotic duplicates, some of the old villains. Bruce said utilize like their weaknesses against them, and Terry did that just in his own way because that's Joker's weakness. He values attention. Like he wants to be viewed as like he's the greatest comic and stuff. Because I always think like how he wanted to be viewed as such a top dog in that episode, make him laugh, and he didn't like it when all those people were laughing at him with his pants down and everything.
Yeah, that's really how you defeat Joker right there. Just make fun of him, like laugh at him.
And just you never think Batman. You never think you imagine any Batman, whether it be Bruce, Terry, or whoever, actually laughing at him continuously and pointing out like some of Joker's like mishaps of how like because it makes sense for someone like of Terry to be frightened of someone from 2 generations ago of just having just exploding whoopee cushions squirting flowers. It's like, oh, what's the big deal? I dealt with all kinds of crazy stuff between Ink, Blight, and Cobra and
Yeah,
stuff.
dude, you're just a clown, man. I don't, I'm just, like, what was my life? But yeah, Angel of Death. I guess yeah, there are a lot of deleted sequences in this movie, especially like since there's two versions of this movie. Um,
Yeah, that's right. And I wasn't I the only one I know of is just that one sequence that they provided storyboards in the behind the scenes
yeah,
where Bruce and Jordan had a little meeting discussion after Joker's little surprise little re-entrance at that Wayne Enterprises gala, which definitely made it seem that Jordan knew Bruce's secret. And then where Bruce saw old Arkham, which I gotta admit that would have been cool to see the old Arkham building in the future, especially with that hanging corpse in the ceiling.
yeah. I should say this: that scene is in, but it's in a tie-in comic. Like they added that in the tie-in comic for the movie and all that stuff. So like it's not totally gone. Like there's something like you can still kind of see a version of that even without the storyboards and all that stuff.
True.
I don't remember Batman Batgirl visiting Penguin and Iceberg Lounge like a deleted sequence. I remember that was in the comic book, but I don't remember that being a deleted scene or anything like that.
Hmm.
And there's quite like just recently, Paul Dini revealed that there was like a draft in the script where Terry would have worn an old bat suit and go against Joker, not his own suit, but a old bat suit, I guess,
Huh.
which I thought was really interesting. Like this was on Twitter. I was like, "What, Paul? Like, why'd you reveal this out of nowhere? This is like, why? Can you do this to me?"
I mean, it's a weird choice in my opinion, but I feel like I guess the only way that be would work, I guess, if when Joker trashed the Batcave, I guess like he would have to have dismantled, I guess, or really wrecked the main suit. But I don't know, because to me, it's just like I just can't see Terry wearing like the old bat suit at all. It's just, I mean, for one, it's too big still, and two, it's just like it's just the red and black. That's really his suit, even if he's not the first to wear it.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Just like I was totally agreeing with you with like, oh yeah, the suit's too big. I was like, yeah, the suit is too big. And then I immediately thought of Rebirth. I was like, that suit was also big, but then in the next sequence, it's really small enough to like have Terry to fit in that costume. So
Yeah, no, that's true. I guess you could say for the Beyond suit, I guess it has that maybe that more auto fitting program. Like maybe just like it has that kind of fabric where it stretches or just realigns based on whoever's wearing it.
yeah, I love like the thought process that when they were making Terry's suit and all that stuff because it's like I know in the early concept art they were like thinking of, like putting armor and all that stuff because it's like the future, you know. And
Hmm.
I know like more recent designs, it's like they put more armor on Terry's suit. I think it looks cool. Like I like armor suits. Like I like Arkham Knight's bat suit. Like I like it when Batman wears like a sort of armor suit. But I also just like the thought process. Like, well, it's the future. Like it's gonna be like super advanced, and it's literally just like spandex, but it's like it's the future. So it's like already like durable and all that stuff. Like it's so strong and all that stuff. I just like the thought process of like Terry's suit because it's literally just fabric, but so powerful.
Yeah, it's a good balance of the two, I think. And yeah, Angel, yep, because pretty much yeah, by epilogue, Terry got to be just as big as Bruce. So yeah, it's probably future tech that just stretches and stuff by that point.
I mean, if Terry is able to like lift like giant boulders underwater and all that stuff, then like yeah, I'm assuming like the suit can just like kind of. That'd be kind of cool to see. Just like okay, someone puts on the bat suit and then just like fits the user's wearer. That'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, that would have been something. And yeah, I guess I agree with you in Seth. I mean, I never thought of it before, but I guess I never thought of both Phantasm and Return of the Joker would be as short. But I guess it's because I'm not sure what else they could have done with Return of the Joker besides maybe a couple of scenes.
Yeah,
The with visiting old Arkham in the future and stuff, and what else they could have done with with Jordan Price, but I don't know. I feel like what they done it was enough. I think, and I guess lastly, what do you guys think of what they done with Harley Quinn when at first it seemed like she died, but then we see that she is still alive as the grandmother of the Didi twins.
yeah, I'll get to that. I was seeing more like the suits giving him ability, not that Terry is able to lift like giant stuff. Like no way in hell he's able to do it. It's the suit.
Yeah,
But
but that's one thing I wonder, just because of how often he wears a suit. Would that affect his own strength as well and stuff? Would that like eventually like I guess I'm wondering if they go with anime logic of like how in Dragon Ball with Goku training at 100 times gravity that he becomes so much stronger now in regular gravity. So I wonder
yeah,
if it's the same thing just because of like I guess with the suit it's the equivalent of wearing like a train of like those weighted vests people wear for working out. So I guess I wonder with how often Terry wears a suit, does he get really strong on his own without it?
that's a good point. But going back to your question, I like Harley Quinn in this movie. I like her inclusion because it's like a sad tale, is what it is.
Yeah, and I like that it ties back to Mad Love because this is even though she may slightly regret what happened, it's what she wants. She wants to settle down with Joker, have a family. Just I guess apparently not through the traditional way.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, I know. In the recent comic books, like they're doing this in the DCU version of Harley Quinn when she's his own woman. I have no problem with that story, but it doesn't work well with the movie because it's like, well, she ended up with Joker again, so you can't write her as like this sort of independent woman anymore, just because of like how the movie is. Like, look, this is it. Like, you can't write more stories, or like you can't write it like a new direction. Like, this is how it has to be. Stop like writing this. Not saying it's bad, but like it doesn't fit with Return of the Joker's like conclusion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's why it makes the Harley Quinn movie sad, just because like if that takes place before, then that makes it more sad that she just tries to redeem or tries to go for a normal path, but then fails again and falls back. But I think this movie, it shows the fact that the only way for Harley to truly have a normal life and not be tied into all this mess is if Joker is gone.
Yeah.
At least for the DCU version. For as far as for the main timeline comics and stuff, as Angels point out, that it's a different take, especially more by now. That is probably not the issue anymore. Let's see.
Yeah. I will say this. I think this is one of the better animated films in the DCU because it's like Mass of the Phantoms was really great, but it sort of ended on a sad note. I have no problems with like movies ending on a sad note or something like that.
Yeah, and which is something at the time when there was all these when Disney had its Renaissance era, so there was all kinds of movies that had love and everything, and that ends happy. So it's like amidst all that, here we have a movie where you get the romance, but it's a sad ending.
Yeah, and I feel like with I don't know, I feel like with Turner Joker, like, oh yeah, like here's a start to finish, and it's like and it ends on a good note, I would say, better
Yeah,
than
yeah.
well,
Although I would
but
say
more
for
of an impactful, way, like a good note, but it's impactful for the character of Terry. Not like Mystery of the Batwoman, where it's like, okay, it's kind of good, but it doesn't really impact with like the rest of the DCU. I would say, you know,
yeah, it's not that big and scopic, but I guess the points I would have for the Batwoman movie is that it focuses on other characters, other villains, especially because because it makes sense. I mean, by the time when Mister the Batman came out, we already had like two movies that featured Joker. So and besides that, only Sub Zero, Mister Freeze. So like, let's try to bring in some other villains.
yeah. I don't know. Just I really like this movie of Return of the Joker. I think it has one of my all time favorite scores. I think in the DCAU because it changes tone so rapidly.
Yeah, because you get the action heavy metal part, the horror aspect with some scenes, especially for the flashback, and I would argue to say that the flat that I mean, it's fun to argue. I would say like that whole flashback sequence is probably the best part of the movie, even better than how the whole thing ends with at least with Bruce and Joker's final confrontation.
Yeah, I just that, and then like it has one of the best like animations because it's animated by TMS. Like I think it looks good, and then
Hmm.
like the action sequences, I think they're one of the best ones, and in all of like Batman like animated stuff, like the fights choreography. Like the thing I keep remember is like that 360 like scene where like Terry just like fights the Jokers, and it's like it does like the 360 like kind of like camera movement or like you just like the camera just goes around Terry and you see him like fight off like these Jokers. Like that's one of my favorite moments in the movie because it's such a cool shot and it's so hard to animate, just that scene.
Oh yeah, that was impressive. I like that scene, especially in the moment like when Terry is gliding down through where following those I don't know what you call those machines. I was carrying like the equipment. It's just the music and everything. How I look with Terry, just like going through following their path, and you see like how big of a big of a skyline the city is. It was just amazing, and that's just the star of the movie.
I like this version of Gotham. I know the show like they were making it sort of noir, sort of futuristic. I like that. I feel like Return of the Joker. It's like it feels more bigger than life. Like you could
Yeah,
just get lost.
yeah,
And I don't know. It's just that, and then just like I like the satellite chase scene a lot, like the music, and then like you see Joker just like blasting through streets with the satellite, and just you see Terry just like frantically like flying away or driving away and all that stuff.
yeah. No, that was great. I enjoy listening to that because I even just like the sound effects they do with the satellite. And you're right, Angel. We definitely do got to talk about one. I say one more thing. If do we prefer the censored or the uncensored version of Joker's death?
I like the uncensored version of just like because it's just like it's just so simple. Like it's just he gets shot to death, and it's
Y-
like whoa.
Yeah, it because I never thought much about the flash sequence when I first got it on VHS at the time because that was with the censored one. But then when I saw clips, then when I eventually got to have the uncut version, I was like, "Whoa!" Like this was epic, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Wow!" That's why I feel like the ending of that flashback sequence. I believe it's a bigger climax as far as within that flashback sequence than the actual climax because that's one thing I guess I want to talk to you. I guess for the both of you, what do you think? I guess of the reveal that for how Joker kind of survived was just, I guess I'm not sure how to describe it. I guess it's like through technology, like po- possessing Tim.
I kind of like it. I think it sort of works well because it's like, it's not like a clone version or like a digital version or something. It's like it's still Joker, but it's just like I think it's clever. I don't really see a lot of superhero media that kind of does what Return of the Joker did. Like implanting someone with like their part of DNA and then like overridden it. I think it's it's definitely silly, but I haven't seen that a lot in like superhero media because it's always like, okay, we want like this character to return, just make like a clone of him, like a full on clone.
Yeah, which is funny given the fact in DC there's all sorts of ways of how people can be brought back to life. Whether you look at the comics or in the DCAU, whether it's through magic, Lazarus Pit, or something. So but it's interesting in a way they did like basically a classic Jekyll and Hyde thing. I guess something I wonder is why wait until when Tim in his 50s? I feel like why not? I mean,
Wait, didn't he say that like it was taking him years to like kind of take control?
right, that's true because he says the changes come at will now, but soon he'll be strong enough to basically be Joker all the time.
Yeah, I was sort of like, oh yeah, like how does that make sense? And then I was like, wait, no, I think the movie sort of explained that, like it took a while and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess when I thought of it when they initially did the teaser trailer for it, I kept thinking, "Ooh, would have been cool if this was like maybe one of Bruce's like last outgoings before he had the heart attack with Return of the Joker." I thought maybe, but I'm glad I was wrong. I was wrong about that.
I do like how Luke points this out. It's sort of like a death in the family kind of storyline, but they did it in their own way. I never really thought about that, but I think he made a good point.
Yeah, and even Nostalgia Critic point out that it's also does a bit of an influence of the Killing Joke, just because of how because how the Killing Joke and I'm talking about the book specifically, how it's all about what could be their final confrontation, and in a way, the writers did a good balance between Death in the Family and and the Killing Joke. So
Yeah,
it
I like how Joker just like gets into Batman's head and it just like he knows like his secrets and like he shows Bruce like the torture and all that stuff of Tim, which was just like really hard for him to watch and all that stuff. And I just like he doesn't get scared of like Batman. He's just like, what? You don't like the movie? I got slides, and I like how Batman's like response is just to like slap him and all that stuff as a sort of
Yeah.
like authority. Like,
Yeah, that was intense. And the fact that Joker never bothered to do anything or threaten to expose identity everything just because he just likes tormenting him. And yeah, I agree, Angel of Death. I even thought that maybe for Tim's wife that was seen in the background, it probably could be Stephanie since they were often paired together back in the at least in the comics anyway.
yeah, let's just I'm just head canon Stephanie Brown. That's just it.
But yeah, it's just an amazing movie all around, and that's why I like the fact that it brought back it brought back all the elements from BTAS and TMBA, just with the animation, the characters, the story, just bringing it all together. That's
The
why
writing, the music, everything. I don't really have a problem with this movie. Do you have anything like you thought was like, oh, I didn't like this part? Because I really can't think of anything other than like nitpicks, but that's just like me personally.
no, not really. I have no complaints with this movie at all. I
It's
guess the only thing
paced
it was
well.
I guess the only thing was maybe it would have been nice if they animated that sequence with old Bruce visiting Arkham in the I guess at that point in the movie, the present timeline, just to see like what would that hanging corpse would look like. Even though yeah, we would see it in the comic book tie-in, but that would be nice if they animated that or maybe did something with Dana, I guess, just because like I mean like at least after a confrontation with the Jokers, because it's like I mean I because I mean I get it, she's not exactly the most important character in the Batman Beyond show and movie, but I feel like there should be something with him just to see her or check on her because I always feel like she's just neglected.
Yeah, I think the last time was like okay, hospital scene. She gets like transferred to a hospital, right? And then like you see Joker just like picking and choosing what his targets might be. Should it be like Rain Manor? Should it be like where
Yep.
Terry's like family is, or hospital where Dana is? I think. Hmm. I think it would have been nice if like in that same hospital scene with where Tim is, like he just checks on Dana, and then goes to Tim.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be like maybe like just to be like, hey, look, like Terry cares for Dana, all that stuff. Let's like guys, let's just like Dana is the one. Okay, let's not do anything else. Okay, I'm mainly just spoken for the tie-in comics or like comic books because it's like come on, it's Dana, it's like Spider-Man or like Lois Lane, Spider-Man's supposed to be with MJ or like Superman's always with Lois or something. That's kind of with me with Terry. Although
Yeah.
I do really like Black Cat with Spider Man, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I always and as Angel pointed out, like Melanie is an interesting character. I guess I would say Melanie would be the equivalent of Black Cat, since at least for Felicia's hair color, it was blonde in the '90s Spider-Man show.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, I think my only gripe with it is like Batman's costume because it's like, well, it's it's not even just like maybe personal reference, but it's like it's kind of confusing because it's like okay, um, he's wearing his TNBA look, and then he wears his just like I remember as a kid, I was always confused by that. I was like, why is he wearing his TNBA look? Shouldn't he wear his Justice League look? And then like as I got older, it was like, oh wait, it's just because of like when they were released. Okay,
Yep, that's yeah. I guess that's the only other thing. I guess because with I just feel like I get that for as far as for within the show, there should be a different style, but I feel like it shouldn't be too drastic of a change. I feel because, but that's just me. Let's
I
see.
don't know.
And
That's really it. I just everything else. I like the movie. I like the action set pieces. Like I liked like the whole when like Terry confronts like or tries to get like Tim, but it turns out to be a trap, and then those lasers are shooting him. Like that's my favorite part of the movie, or one of them. I don't
yeah,
know. Just every scene is just like I love every scene of the movie, like even the slow bits, like the car scene with Terry and Bruce. I really like that scene where it's just them talking,
Yeah, it's just
no
really
music, just dialogue and like car sounds.
yeah. Yeah, I have yeah, like I said, I have no complaints with that. Yeah, even with the slow bits, it's just interesting, especially when how Terry is trying to talk with Barbara just to try to figure some things out that Bruce didn't want to talk about, and it's just a very interesting because it's a very pressing situation for everyone in this movie, and yeah, I do agree, Angel. I guess Dana's not the most three dimensional character, other than just being the girlfriend. I wish they would have done more with their character in the show. It's just, I just that's probably a question for, I guess, between either Paul Dini or Alan Burnett with whatever they're with why they went that direction. But
I know Alan Burnett wanted like Max and Terry to be together, which was like something that Bruce Timm was against.
mm,
I don't
yeah,
know.
huh? But I guess that makes you wonder, like, do you think it would have added more or less if she was part of the movie? Just because, she just because she's pretty much very involved with Terry's with Terry's activities as Batman. So I just
I just liked her being like sort of like this normal character. She's not really like it's just like that's just Terry's like normal life. Like she doesn't have to be this character that is just like with superpowers. She's just normal.
yeah. Although even though the Bruce Timm and the producers have stated that she's basically like Terry's Alfred in a way, as far as equivalent, I like to think of her as sort of a Neo spoiler, mostly just because of the use of color that she has, like in her outfit and her hairstyle, like how she has pink hair and a yellow top, and I feel like that's just basically the reverse colors of Stephanie Brown for how she wore pink as spoiler, and she's a blonde. But that's just my opinion on that. Hold on 1 second. I just gotta plug in my laptop quick.
Okay. I genuinely couldn't tell you anything about Dana as a character other than her being Terry's girlfriend. I know in the Time comic they try to expand her character or give her something. Um,
But I don't know. What do you guys think about my idea about with Max?
no, 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 no. That's. I think that's all I can say right now.
Okay, I mean it was just maybe I was just looking too hard into it, just because I just noticed with the colors and everything, and just the reverse. And I guess I always feel like Max kind of gets way too involved in a bit. I don't know. Her personality just reminds me of Stephanie Brown, the comics originally, how she just gets involved and kind of spoils things,
Mm,
unintended. But that might be just a. I'm probably just looking for something that just isn't there. And yes, Ace definitely got some best moments in the film, like how he took down Wolf and
such a
everything.
good dog. Yeah, Wolf.
And it was somewhat funny how he was watching that Bugs Bunny cartoon with the dog crying over Bugs's body, believing he was dead.
Yeah. I'm a dog person, so like every time Ace is on screen, I'm like, oh, he's a good boy. You're a good boy. I'm gonna pet you now. Yeah. Uh, I love dogs.
But man, I will say one thing for Joker, that in this movie he was very chaotic, like with his plan, how violent he was against Bruce, Ace, and anyone in his way. I mean, in a funny way, I like to think that the three Jokers thing, it could apply in the DCU version.
Just
Well,
because like the design.
not just design, but even with personality and motives. Just at least before the Tim Drake thing, because hear me out. Like how in B Test, when you look at the first batch of episodes, he's just it's more, I guess, somewhat like Silver Age Joker with just doing all these crazy stunts just to rob some money, where it was a laughing gas or something. Even within the laughing fish. But then as we get to Phantasm and then throughout TMBA, he
Terrorists.
he's a
Sorry,
bit
that plan of just like, okay, we're gonna use a satellite, a plane's crashing into towers. I'm just like, oh my gosh, can you imagine like that being aired like like in a later time period? Holy crap!
that would be that'd be very disastrous. But it's
Dude.
just I feel like in between, like throughout B Test TMBA, the Joker's modes are changed, where when it's just like making some money with doing crazy stunts to then just basically throughout Phantasm, and then I would say more so in TMBA being a bit more murderous, at least whether it's mostly through the laughing gas and stuff or explosions, and then through Justice League and mostly I guess in Return of the Joker being full out full out causing chaos and destruction. Like, with the satellite thing, it was.
Did you hear that? Like in the original concept, it was just like Joker is gonna like have like this giant space pie fall into Gotham.
I heard about that. I'm just like, I'm glad they didn't go with that, because I feel like
How
that
would
would have
that
been.
work? I got it. I'm gonna steal a bunch of like whipped creams throughout Gotham and make a giant. Like, how would that have worked? You know?
Yeah. And I get it, Angela. That might be a bit too much of a stretch with the three Jokers thing, and yeah, it's a bit of a messy concept. I guess I kind of like it just as a bit of a nod to how the Joker's character has changed in the comics during between the 60s, 80s, and when he first started out. It's just interesting that for his character, he's gone through physically, not just physically, but also for like, I guess even in the inside, how he changes, how he's so spontaneous with his motives and his methods.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just three Jokers. I sort of just like it like as like a sort of like his design. Like I think I like that more. I think and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like I want three Jokers. I want to like the concept, but I don't feel like there hasn't been something that where I'm like, oh, I really like it here. You know?
Yeah, because for the original for that story, I liked it most because of the artwork.
Yeah. Or like the Joe Chill scene where he just forgives him.
Yeah,
I really like that moment, but that's probably about it with the three Jokers.
yeah, and yeah, that's true. I would say Joker definitely has super sanity, where he just makes sense. He realizes that they're all just fictional characters, so what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know, just yeah.
I guess for the two of you, would you place Return of the Joker like in the same level as some of the, I guess, on the same level as some of the best live action Batman films?
I think so. I think so. I don't know. It's just like it's kind of hard because it's like, would you call this like a Batman movie, like in a general sense of like Bruce Wayne story? Because most Batman movies is just Bruce Wayne, and this one's Terry.
I would say so, just because the fact that we a con- get to see like what was, at least in that version, Bruce's last battle with the Joker before the events of the film started.
I don't know. I when it comes to Return Joker, I'm like, there's really no problems I have with this movie, and I think it's wonderful. I think the soundtrack is good. I think the plot's good, and I like how Terry. Um, I really like Terry in this movie, and I like how he explains like why he still is Batman after getting revenge on his father. Because you kind of wonder why he's still being Batman. Like, is it just like the thrill? But like in the movie, it just explains like, you know, I was a bad kid in juvie,
Hmm.
and he's just like, well, I'm doing this to kind of make up my sins and just try to be better, you know. And I like that motivation or reasoning, not like my uncle died, I must do what he said.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's it's not just the whole great power, great responsibility thing. It's just to make up for Pat for his mistakes, and that's why I love it at the end when Bruce tells Terry, which I would say that line is also to the fans that we make Batman worthwhile.
Yes, and that's I I try to tell people because like every like when you go on Twitter, everyone's just like, you know, they go back with that blog or like Terry isn't like his own character. I'm like, no, like watch Return of the Joker is just like Terry is Batman in my eyes, I think, or this version of the character and all that stuff. And I like how I don't know, just like after watching this movie, I'm just like, yeah, Terry is Batman, not Bruce Wayne Batman, but his own Batman, and I like that version of Batman a lot. Because
Yep.
he's, you know, he's making jokes. He's like I wouldn't say like he's like a jokester than like with Spider-Man. He more like he mostly just roasts people most of the time, and it's just funny to like listen to.
Yeah, that's also why I just think of Dick Grayson, just because I feel like Dick Grayson does that kind of thing.
Yeah. This is getting old, Batman. Look who's talking. Oh, you just got my favorite line of Terry,
Yep.
or one of them. Uh, and again, you know, him roasting like just Joker. It's just like,
Yep. That
oh,
that's
I don't need a degree to figure you out.
yeah. Just like I just love that's yeah. That's I can't think of really what's the best scene. Like there's all kinds of different scenes I love, but for different reasons.
Yeah, like again, it's just like there's so much to like about this movie, and there's like I don't know if I like the accuracy, like action sequences more, or like the animation, or like the sad parts, or like just like the quiet moments, or like just the dialogue, because there's so much to like about this movie, and so much to
Mhm.
talk about, or just like say one thing you really like this movie, because I like all of it. I liked after the Joker's death, where it's just like this sort of like this shocked effect, where it's just like, oh my gosh, like the Joker's dead, and you hear this music playing, and then Tim's just breaking down.
Yeah, that was just intense. And huh? And Angel brought up a good point. I guess I guess Spider Man could easily beat him since Spider Man normally does whip out has some quips all the time because that's how he beats some of his enemies, at least in the Spectacular Spider Man version, anyway.
Yeah, yeah, dude, I've been watching that show recently, and I'm just like, I can't stop watching it.
Yep.
I guess so. With Spider Man, I just, hmm, yeah, I would see that. I'm just thinking of like the recent like Deadpool Batman book that happened. Like Batman got into Joker's head and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and he was not having it. I don't know. It's just,
Yeah. Although now I think if it would still be tough for Spider Man to beat him, just because the reason Joker lost his cool was the fact that it's someone in his mind pretending to be Batman. That it's not his Batman since he's a decrepit old man. If it's just someone else making quips, that they'd
I
be
don't.
like he'd be mad, but I don't think not as mad as Terry made him mad.
No, no, you know what? I totally agree with you right there. Just because it's just like, yeah, like remember if Mask of the Phantasm, where just like the guy, like the mobster, like grabs Joker by like the collar, like his suit, and he's like he gets mad at him, all that stuff, but then like he reverts back to like being like calm about it. I mean, he still killed him. He's still kind of angry, but he wasn't super mad as Terry, you know.
Yeah, because
I think,
granted,
yeah,
yeah,
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you right there.
yeah, because that's one thing to point out. In Phantasm, Joker had a plan because he wanted to figure out, is Batman really doing all those killings? Whereas for that final battle, Joker meant I say he was at his wits end, like because his whole plan got ruined with the satellites. So he's like, all right, I'm just gonna go away. And then Terry's like, hold on, we're not ending it like this. We're having a fight. And it's just like, really, I do not have patience for this. I feel like that's what he's thinking. Like, fine, let's just get this over with.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know. I'm just like I'm thinking of like with like Terry's suit, because it's like it's supposed to be like this super strong suit, and then like Joker's able to like kind of like toss him around, beat him around for like a few for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah,
My headcanon has always just been like, well, electricity and like maybe his strength is kind of gone and it's not like full back his
yeah.
strength.
Plus, I wouldn't say that strength is like that much. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like. I would say with the suit amplifications, maybe half as strong as Captain America.
I don't know. I say that because it's like the suit can be really strong at times. Like, do you remember that one episode with like the Terrific Trio, which is just like a kind of like a parody of Fantastic Four a little bit?
Oh yeah, and that scene like where they was
Yeah, the Spider-Man like thing. Like it
yeah.
exactly looks like it. Like exactly looks like it. Like that was pretty heavy. Like that I don't think Captain America could lift that. Or like the Fortress of Solitude where like that giant boulder, that giant rock falls onto like Awkward Girl and Batman and Terry just casually just like flings it to the side.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention like it's underwater, so like the water buoyancy is even heavier. All that stuff.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the writing of the story. I guess it's just like with Superman, with in the '90s series where sometimes he might be able to handle the situation, but in other episodes, he might be overpowered. It just
Yeah.
depends on the nature of the story.
I don't think of it too much. Like sometimes it does cause my mind. It's like, should be able to like beat him easily, but it
What
doesn't
well,
distract me too much.
well, with Joker, especially in Tim Drake's Spy, it's not a matter of strength. It's also a technique, and even Terry pointed out that technique outbeats strength.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, you're just reminding me of the tie-in comic of Batman Beyond, of Batman and like old fights old Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I just remember that line from the Egg Baby. That's such a good episode, despite how silly it is.
It's I like how the Beyond show just like it just challenges like different tones. So you have like a really dark episode, and then you have the Egg Baby episode, which is really silly. I really do like that episode too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I mean, I would say Tim maybe not as trained as much as he used to, but I say he probably still trains a good amount as far as exercise. Because I mean, he's still kind. I mean, he's a little bit big for his size. I would say.
Oh yeah.
Because like even for Bruce, like he's still pretty capable in his old age, despite his heart. Same with Barbara, at least for you know handling some situations.
What do you think of like the reveal, like Tim actually being the Joker? I don't think we actually really said anything about that.
I mostly just yeah, I mean I mostly mentioned just as far as the part with Joker with the whole DNA chip thing, but that was a crazy reveal. And that's one thing I wanted to point out is that when they were making the movie, they had a different opening title sequence, which would kind of
Ugh, I'm so angry. Have you seen, dude? I love the alternative title sequence, just like super flashy. I'm so upset they got rid of that. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Also, the music is like it's the same music from both intros, but like I would say the alternative version, like the music in that one was really cool. Oh, I'm so angry that they didn't like put that sequence in because it's so flashy, man. And like the title sequence, Batman, Return of the Joker, like it's so flat. I need to go watch that scene right now. I'm watching it. I love
Yeah,
it so much.
it's a good sequence, although I do understand that it might have been a little bit too spoilery right away, I guess for anyone that paid attention. And
But
yeah,
it's so good.
and yeah, Angela, I do like that line in the Egg Baby with, "But mom, dad's not dead. He just left with."
Yeah. Don't ever talk to your father that way. Oh my gosh. That episode has so many like funny jokes, one-liners and all that stuff. They really knew how to write economy how do you pronounce it?
Comedy.
Yes.
I was gonna say, and yeah, that was a great job of how they slightly connected that to Cadmus in JLU. And yeah, it may not the smart decision for Joker to reveal that weakness to Terry, but that's Joker. Like, he doesn't want to really doesn't want to make it like complete easy victory. I mean, the thing is though, he probably could have won in the flashback sequence without taunting Batman or handing Tim the gun, even though it would be a tragic irony. He could just, after he stabbed him in the leg, he could just shot him himself. But he just likes to have fun. I guess I like to think that sometimes he doesn't want a complete easy victory as
I
well.
I mean, I think we kind of established that he was too overconfident and didn't really think of Terry as much, so that's why he's like revealing it. Because he doesn't think of Terry as like the new Batman, just thinks of like a he said it himself, like, why, like, you're a punk kid, you know?
Yeah, that's why he had like the Joker's target Terry at the nightclub while he would handle Bruce himself, because I feel like at that point he was like morally satisfied the fact that yes, I have gotten the better of Bruce, gotten exposed to laughing gas, and
And
I
then
feel
yeah, and then him just saying, "I know all Bruce's like moves and all that stuff." Again, like he said it himself, like he doesn't think Terry is like, because as Terry said it, like, you don't know about me. He's like, "What's to know? You're a punk kid. I don't care about you." So we kind of I think they
yeah,
kind of made it like there's enough where it's like, okay, like, yeah, when you think about that, it's kind of dumb that he revealed that part. But again, the movie kind of establishes that Terry doesn't really care, or Joker doesn't care.
yeah, pretty much. But also, that's one thing I want to talk about. What do you guys think, I guess, of the different Joker designs of the gang? That they went with something that's not been shown in the series before.
Um, I think it's pretty iconic. I would say pretty recognizable. Like, I like Ghoul's design. I like the DD twins. Um, I'm trying to remember the other names. I'm sorry.
Let's see. I think there was Wolf,
Yeah, Wolf, and then
Bon-
the
Bonk,
Bonk.
and
Yeah,
Chucko.
Choco. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm glad they returned in like the GLU episode once in future thing. I
Yeah,
thought that was really cool.
though I would say when they switched up for how Chucko was, got killed off, I think that was worse than what Joker did to Bonk.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like share my screen of the tile sequence. It's so good, man. uh,
Let's see.
that's so good. Why did they do? I'm so angry.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we could putting it back.
Yeah, so angry.
I know it's a great sequence. I mean, though there was a lot of alterations with that movie, just because because given how there was all kinds of controversies happening, as well as there was a school shooting that happened that year, which is why we had the censored version. And I would say Warner Brothers definitely did not like the concept of with what they done with Tim Drake, seeing a child murder someone.
Yeah. Did you watch the Watchtower Database like video on Return of the Joker?
Yeah, I did.
Because I was like, they said that it wasn't like the school shooting,
Right.
although it could have played a part.
Yeah, I know it wasn't like the exact cause, but I feel like it could have been a contributing factor. But I guess the people in charge of Warner Bros. They were not exactly thrilled the idea just seeing a child shooting an adult. It's because they're like, because we're trying to make this available for kids, not just adults,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny with Bad Beyond in general, because they wanted a more lighthearted show to attract the more younger audience, and yet in the show they made it very dark in some episodes, especially with this movie.
Yeah, it's probably the darkest like animated like of the DCAU shows. Like, it's probably the darkest one of the show, and I feel like that's such funny, like, ironic, because it's like, oh, they wanted it to be like a kids show, but it's the darkest one out of all of them.
Yeah.
It's pure
And yeah,
evil.
Yeah, Angel's right. Yeah, it was. I think it was just one executive that during initial screening, and
Yeah, I mean, we don't know who. I mean, we may never know all that stuff.
probably not. And
Maybe when like they're gone or something, maybe we'll know. But I don't know. Like, there's so much behind the scenes stuff, and like with all the cartoons or like with the creators, all stuff. Like you just can't reveal because of just like
yeah,
it's. I mean, it sucks, but I understand why. Just because of like names, legal reasons, or just like personal reasons.
yep. But still, it became a bit. I'm glad that we got the uncut version just a few years later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yep. That's right. The Watchtower James does probably. Yeah, it makes sense. James probably can't really say because, as you said, as you said, Blue Knight. It's just with all the legalities and all that stuff.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you're gonna use my name? That's fine.
I wasn't sure if you wanted your actual name or not.
Oh, it's fine, dude. Literally, like Patrick uses my name all the time. I'm like, okay, I guess we're just using my name. Oh well. It
I just
feels weird just because it's like, well, I've made this identity, but now I'm like, oh, okay, because I feel like there's two identities I use. I use Blue Knight as like the YouTube thing right now. I'm like, oh, my actual name. Okay, cool.
no, I gotcha. I just
I'm
can't wait to
fine with
see.
it.
I just can't wait to see what Patrick thinks about it when he gets to Batman Beyond and the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he takes a. I mean, he has a baby now, so like it takes him a long time just to like watch stuff. Like I asked him to watch like the 2004 show, and it's taken him like a whole month, and he hasn't finished season one. I'm like, I just finished it in like one day of season one.
Yeah,
um,
for that show, I think well, when you say season one, do you mean like how like with how they released it or how Max has done it? Because
how they release it, I don't ever use the Max one because Max has like they just combined season one and season two together. I'm like, why'd you do that? It's so annoying for me.
yeah, I mean it kind of makes sense since I guess through the first two seasons it has that the original opening, and then when you get to how we view season three, it's with the new change. So I guess that new change of the opening, which I could see why maybe Max would have that as a season two thing.
I don't know, Max. I mean, they got the wrong Batman when they first released HBO Max. It was the DCAU version. I was like, oh, why? It's wrong. It's cool, but it's wrong. Like, how does that happen?
I know, right? And yeah, I agree. Angel Death, Leather Wings is the true pilot episode.
Yeah, same. Also with like VTAC, I'm like, no, production order. I don't care release like air date or order. I, Leather Wings is where it's at, baby. I hate when they do that sometimes. It just, it, it's just so upsetting to me.
Oh wait, something's going on with your microphone there.
Oh, is it? My bad. I need to unplug it. I don't know. Is it still doing it?
Okay, nope. Now we can hear you clearly.
Okay, my bad. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi. My bad.
That's no problem. But yeah, there's still glad that we got that Return of the Joker. Whether it's both the censored or uncensored, still I say it's a great story for us as kids when we first watched it, and then to see how it was originally intended as we got a little bit older.
Yeah. Do you still have like both versions of the movie? Because
Well, I think I don't think I have the censored version anymore because that was a VHS tape. I
yeah.
do have the Blu-ray version because I have the complete series Blu-ray set. So
Okay. I don't have the Blu-ray version of Batman Beyond. I have the DVDs, like the DVD versions of it, and I have the DVD version of like Return of the Joker. I really need to get myself the Blu-ray version. Of being honest, although I don't like how in like Batman Beyond, like in the Blu-ray version, since like you know how Batman Beyond transitioned from like traditional to like digital stuff, they made the Blu-ray like the digital like the midway through like it's brighter, and it's like disgusting.
Yeah, and some episodes, especially mostly with the
The call.
yeah, that's there. Yeah, I feel like they should just did some touch ups with the exposure because like you can see the lines where it's supposed to be black. And let's see, what do you guys think of their recreation of the scene from Holiday Nights of Joker announcing his Christmas killings? I just think it's kind of better than the original. Yeah, I do like it just because a little bit better, just because of how more expression we see more how Joker's bit more has more expressions with saying that line, and that just reminds me of that YouTube channel with the Hamill who laughs, where he did a redrawing of the
Oh,
original.
you saw that one too, yeah.
Yeah, where he's done like redrawing of that one of TMA Joker with either with the Justice League or the movie or this movie's take, or even with the original BTAS look.
Yeah. Dang it, I forgot what I was gonna like say next. I've lost my train of thought. Damn it. Um.
And yeah, Angel, that's right. Because in the Blu-ray set, they in Rebirth they removed that part with Bruce having a heart attack when his vision is distorted, red with a heart being. Yeah, they for some reason they removed that
Oh, they got rid
alteration.
of that.
Yeah, it's just you don't see like it. Yeah, it's that perspective from Bruce's what Bruce is seeing. That's gone. That's gone in the Blu-ray set, and that's just
Wow.
disappointing. But
Extremely, because I really like the red scene, which is like Bruce having a heart attack. I didn't know about that. Thanks for telling me.
yeah,
Um, Now I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, I actually have both versions of the movie. So I have the DVD version of Return of Joker. It says like the uncut version, and then I have the recorded version that my mom did. So like she recorded the movie on when it was being like played on like Kids WB or something like that. Like she recorded it and then she made it into a disc and all that stuff.
huh.
So I do have that version of the movie where it is on like uncensored.
You
So I
mean
still
wait? You mean
yeah like it,
you mean
yeah
the
it's like it's censored. Like I have the censored version, but it's like recorded on like a disc.
yeah? Although I think that movie was only just on Cartoon Network, not Kids WB.
It could have been Cartoon Network. I haven't seen the censored version in a very very long time. I know I have it,
Yeah.
but I can't remember all the ads or commercials of that because I always just watch the uncut version of the movie because that's my preference. I know there's a third one where they combine the two movies together, which I think is really weird.
Hmm. It, yeah. I don't know why they would do that, but
It's just companies just doing weird stuff, and I'm like, what?
the only thing I do like, I think, about the censored version of Joker's death is that it is somewhat hilarious and tragic for the fact that Joker died just because he slipped when he electrocuted himself. It's like because I'm not sure who pointed out, but I feel like that's the kind of death he would like to die on, dying doing like a shtick or something.
Or like accidental. I
Yeah.
do like how the censored version, like they put seatbelts on Terry. Like, oh yeah, we need to put seatbelts on. Like that's no no no. Oh my gosh.
No, it's just amazing what people can get away with when you're not worried about like how to make sure it's okay for kids.
Ah, yeah. Angel Dutch just said, when I first saw the film on TV, it was the third version because I definitely remember Joker being shot, like in the original, but also old Harley wore red and black instead of blue and purple. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Harley Quinn's
Hmm.
color
I don't
change.
know. I don't remember on TV they ever aired the uncut version with Joker's death. I mean,
I don't think they did. I'm not sure if they did. I think it was only like on DVD sales.
yeah, because I just remember like when Toonami would make up promos for that movie, and that was like maybe a few years after it initially came out. Because I know because Pretty much, I think because of the movie and everything, Kids AB, I think, then just decided not to go forward with making more Batman Beyond because they felt it was just getting too intense. That's why for that last episode, I forgot, Unmasked, that was only aired on Cartoon Network, which was like
I
months
okay.
later.
I thought it was because of like the team moving to Justice League and they couldn't split apart. I thought that was the reason. Is that not the reason? Or that
That
could
could
be like a partial reason? Or
that
like
could be also a partial reason. It was something I think I spoke about with Dan Reba. Dan Reba by it was a couple years ago, so I don't remember exactly every detail, but
did you record it or no?
it should be on if it's on the live stream I had with him to celebrate 30 years of B test, and that might be just been a more personal discussion, so like just on Messenger. So I'll have to take a look and see, but it's probably also on that video with from the Watchtower database about Return of the Joker. But I feel like it would make sense. It makes sense given like how on Kiss A B it didn't have much of an ending, and then the last episode would just then air months later on Cartoon Network.
I definitely see that. I just always thought it was like, oh, because of they are working on Justice League, they need everyone from like Batman Beyond to work on Justice League now.
Yeah, it's just crazy how much they were juggling between different shows.
I again, it's just like I'm still surprised that they were able to do that. Like, because it's like literally the creation beyond was like a matter of months. Like, because usually they'll take like maybe like a year or two of development, rehearsing, like rehashing ideas, and like so like I don't know how they're able to do it. Those guys were on crack. That's all I'm saying. They were freaking insane, man.
Very much so. Yeah, it's I don't know how. Yeah, it's amazing how much they accomplished just between all those shows.
Not to mention the like I would say like the quality was still good. I know season one of Justice League, like it was really painful to make that season, but once season two came out, I was like, oh wow, this is great. I love it.
Oh yeah, season two of that is my favorite. I think out of all of them, maybe somewhat second to the Cadmus arc, just because I guess I'd liked. There was a lot. I guess there's a lot more I liked in season two than the Cadmus arc, but I guess I like the Cadmus arc on for different things. On the DVD commentary, Bruce Timm says that he considers Return of the Joker overall better than Mask of the Phantasm. Do you agree? I go back and forth depending on the day. Right now, I agree. And oh, that's really hard for me. It's like in some ways, yes, I think so. I guess in some ways, no, just because I guess as you point out, Blue Knight is that for Return of the Joker, it has a good ending to where now Bruce with Barbara and Tim, they're kind of reconciling their differences and actually trying to be there for each other. As the hopes that maybe Bruce can be with them more, at least talk with them, not just be a complete shut in stuff. And now that Tim is completely free of the Joker, because it is a bit of a sad ending for Phantasm. That for Batman, like I mean, it's epic with how he became Batman and with everything that involves with Andrea and with the Joker, the fights, everything. But for Phantasm, it's just like everything that was happening. Then goes back to square one, where he's just resuming his usual thing. But at least now for with Return of the Joker, it's more Terry's movie, his own Batman, and the fact that now it's like he went through a rite of passage that now he can handle things completely by himself now if it comes to it. He doesn't have to rely on Bruce anymore.
Yeah, that's the Phantasm's kind of like a year one Batman movie.
Yeah.
I actually kind of prefer that version. Like when I think of origins of Batman, that's what I think of, like Mask of the Phantasm, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just really hard to say which I like better because I guess To me,
Uh,
both are the best for different reasons.
I'm going to Return of the Joker. I don't give a crap.
Let's see. I wouldn't say a movie having a good or sorrow ending makes the film any better. The story requires a happening. If it has a happening, if not, then it has a sad ending. Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess because for me with Return of the Joker, it's I would say like that is to me that is the best conclusion for Batman Beyond before epilogue.
Yeah.
So I say that's what I like better about it. And yeah, I think I do like Return of the Joker more just in terms of Terry's character arc and how it's a good ending and its connections. For Phantasm, I do like it just for that's the first animated epic of how they try to make Batman serious for a cartoon that's not that where it delves into a lot more adult themes and even more so than the show itself to a degree. And if not for Phantasm, then we wouldn't have Return of the Joker because it was a step forward because Phantasm had a PG rating, but Return of the Joker with the uncut, it got PG 13.
Yeah. Just I always consider Return of the Joker like my number one, and I think it's better than Mask of the Phantasm for like different reasons. I think it really just depends on like what you like, because I don't think both films are bad in terms of like their writing or like anything else, because they're both really great. I think it just depends on like, okay, do you like want to watch this movie or like watch sort of like a detective story or like the origins of Batman, or do you want to like get like watch like more kind of an action set piece, I guess.
Yeah, because Return of the Joker, like, it's a personal story, but also an action flick. Just because with what Joker is doing, literally the whole city is at risk.
Yeah, I
It's
love action. Like action to me is also very important for me too, because it's like, well, I want to watch guys fight each other. Like it's cool. Like let me watch some really good action set pieces, because that's what animation is there for. You know?
agreed. And yeah, and Angel Dead, yeah, yeah. Since we did talk about epilogue so much, yeah, for Phantasm's cameo, that was nice and kind of a bit ironic. The fact that she was willing to kill the parents of Terry's parents. I mean, I'm not sure how much she knows about the operation, or, but I mean, it is quite funny the fact that she manages to stop herself from killing Terry's parents. And I like the fact that despite what she has chosen for herself, she does in some way wants to uphold Bruce's values.
Yeah. I also just like the cool Easter egg. So like, you have that recreated shot of leather wings, but it's like inverted,
Oh
and
yeah,
you have Terry thinking like pondering himself like with the wedding ring, I think, and it's like it's the classic like Bob Kane Bruce Wayne thing in his studies. Like that's really cool. There's a lot of cool Easter eggs, and I don't know. I really like that episode. Epilogue's one of my favorite ones.
yeah, yeah. I think that's why I think I'll go with my statement is that for Return of the Joker, best DCAU film by far. As far as for best Batman film, that's that's a bit it's tough and go between that and Phantasm, and like you said, Angel. I would say Under the Red Hood is also a very good one for different reasons. So that's why I think between the three of them, I think for me they're among the best animated films as far as for showing putting Batman's character in perspective and what has to deal with in certain situations, whether it's with a former love or former apprentice, or even just with the Joker himself.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I would say that'll be it for today. I want to thank you again, Blue Knight, for joining me on this podcast to celebrate this great movie.
Oh no, thanks for having me. It's literally my all-time favorite Batman movie. I'm just glad to still talk about Beyond and like Terry, because I absolutely love this universe and the DCAU version. I love revisiting the cartoon. I love talking about it. So I really feel honored just to be here and just talk about it for a bit.
Yeah, it's yeah, because that's what I love about Bam Beyond. To see like what's the what's their take on the future of DC and everything. And yes, Angel, I do agree with the theory of Bruce naming his dog after Ace from the Royal Flush Gang.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been confirmed, but I'm just like, nope, it's canon now. Don't give crap. Because literally, epilogue with that scene of Bruce and Ace is just so, it's so good. The writing and just like how it was portrayed and all that stuff. All time, very Batman moments in all the media. I think.
Yeah. I think that might be another thing I might do because like I am going to do original characters for of DC for next year. Though I think at one point I might do moments. I'm just not sure how to divide that. Maybe probably between either animated and live action. Though I imagine for animated, that's going to be quite a long list of moments to pick.
Dude, I wish I got the the cell animation of like Bruce carrying Ace. I wish I got that. I'm so jealous. I don't have that. It'd be cool to hang up on my wall
You'll get your chance.
one day.
Yeah. Plus, hey, maybe if you see Dan Reba at convention, maybe he might be able to draw one for you.
Oh my gosh, that would be a life goal right there. Just meeting Dan Reba. Dan, please, please. No, I'll just ask him to do Wonder Bat for me. Please draw more. Just uh,
Gotcha. And well, we'll see about for Marvel because I mean it usually goes with the DC December thing, but I mean because I wasn't sure if there are any original Marvel characters from animation.
I don't know anything about that. If I'm being honest, like even the question you're asking, I'm like, I don't know.
Not sure about that. Plus, when we look at for original characters that not only were big in the shows or movies, but also that became big enough to transfer to be part of like the main canon.
Yeah, all I can think about is like Spider-Man Unlimited, that weird cartoon. It's gotta be like some original characters in that show, right?
Yeah, yeah, probably since at least the story continued on in comic book form. I think in that show.
Yeah, I do like. I just remember it's just like, yeah, what's your favorite original character? And I just said Terry, and you're just so defeated, like, because you're like, yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, because I was debating whether or not to put in Terry since even though like his character's original, even though he's taking on the mantle of Batman, but I say it still counts.
Yes, just like Miles with like taking up a Spider-Man or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, but wait, didn't X-23? Wait, wasn't X-23 in the comics?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because I'm going with characters that first appeared in a movie or series, like Harley, Mercy Graves, Livewire, like characters like those that never had a comic book appearance before getting a movie or show adaptation. Huh? She debuted. I'll take a look myself, but I would say given your knowledge, I don't doubt it
hmm.
because I did like it. I did like X Men Evolution.
Huh. I'm trying to think like Marvel shows I've watched. I watched X-Men 97. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
I have seen all the animated Spider-Man shows. It's probably like the only thing.
I've seen most of them. Not too much of that 2017 one.
I did. It's not really worth it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, for me, it's just like I cannot get past the animation style. It just looks too goofy, and the only reason I sat through the recent one was I did kind of like the animation style and its focus on other characters, and that's very more like street based kind of crime thing. And the only reason I care about it now is just because they got Josh Keaton back, but as Peter's dad,
Yeah.
and the fact that he's arrested. So I'm wondering what's the deal with that.
Yeah. Dude, spectacular. Best Spidey show. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've just been watching rewatching that recently.
yep. You can never go wrong with Greg Weisman's writing.
Mm-hmm. Which he wrote an episode for the Batman.
Yep, and a few others.
Yay.
Ah, right. Of course, yeah. Morph was an original character, just pretty much, I guess, male version of Mystique. Though I would say, given 97, probably a bit more powerful than Mystique, or at least on par. Hard to say with
Yeah.
shapeshifters, but I say that'll be it for today. Thank you again, Blue Knight, and thank you again, Angel, for with the commentary. So, and thank you to any viewers watching this. So stay tuned because DC December is going to be right around the corner.
Wait. Yeah.